Sri Lanka Insurance Minimutu education plans ensure a secure future for your child with a higher education fund, comprehensive protection and a range of additional covers.
In a few moments, the news.
Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
"6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. Sri Lanka lifts inter-provincial travel restrictions. The final rites of Venerable Valamitiyave Kusaladhammathera held with full state honours. The daily count of new COVID-19 cases moved to 542 yesterday. 18 coronavirus deaths reported yesterday. Sri Lanka to start administering the COVID-19 booster doses. Sri Lanka players to get booster dose on return from the UAE. In news overseas, in climate change, extreme weather events are the new norm. In sports news, New Zealand beat India by 8 wickets in another T20 World Cup match played yesterday at the Dubai Cricket Grounds. Inter-provincial travel restrictions have been lifted from today with the aim of maintaining the people's daily lives under new normalization. Accordingly, the restrictions imposed preventing the general public from crossing provincial borders has been lifted from 4 a.m. this morning, according to the National Operations Centre for the Prevention of the COVID-19 outbreak. The inter-provincial travel restrictions have been lifted after a period of 6 months, when it was imposed following a surge in COVID-19 cases and deaths in the island. Meanwhile, with the lifting of the inter-provincial travel restrictions, the inter-provincial passenger bus and train services are also set to resume, allowing public transport services to return to normalcy. However, the government has directed its attention to making vaccination cards mandatory when entering public places such as shops and restaurants. The Ministry of Health says that around 70% of the total population have been vaccinated against COVID-19 and that the population in the category above 30 years has been fully vaccinated. However, the Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, says that it is essential that people follow the proper health guidelines despite the removal of inter-provincial travel restrictions. The cremation ceremony of the Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya, Agamaha Pandit Most Venerable Valamitiyave Dharmakirti Sri Kusaladhammathera, held with full state honours, concluded at the Independence Square in Colombo last evening. The government had declared Sunday a day of mourning in view of the final rites of late Dr. Most Venerable Valamitiyave Kusaladhammathera, who passed away on October 28th at the age of 85. The remains of the Most Venerable Thero had reached Independence Square from the Vidyalankara Pirivena in Paliagoda via a vehicle procession which had commenced at around 12:30 p.m. The cremation ceremony commenced at 2 p.m. in the presence of the country's religious leaders and other dignitaries. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and opposition leader Sajith Premadasa were among a host of political leaders in attendance. Most Venerable Dr. Valamitiyave Dharmakirti Sri Kusaladhammathera had served as the Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya, the Chief Judicial Prelate for the two regions of Colombo and Chilau, and as the Chief Incumbent of the Paliagoda Vidyalankara Pirivena. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
The Health Ministry says that another 154 persons have tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday, pushing the daily count of new cases to 542. Meanwhile, 18 corona deaths have also been reported yesterday. This also increases the tally of the coronavirus cases confirmed in the country thus far to 541,073. 14,532 patients infected with the virus are currently being treated across the island, while the total recoveries are 512,798. Sri Lanka is preparing to commence providing the third dose or the booster dose of COVID-19 vaccines to its citizens from today, with frontline health workers the first group to receive the booster dose. The Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine is to be administered as the booster dose in the country. Speaking on this, the Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, said that the booster dose will be provided 6 months after receiving the second dose. He said that frontline health workers and Triforce's personnel who are assisting in controlling the spread of the virus will initially receive the booster dose, and then workers in airport, ports and tourism sectors. Dr. Gunawardena said that they are then expecting to administer the third dose to persons over the age of 60 years next, followed by those with various diseases in age group 30 to 60. Afterwards, everyone above the age of 20 will be given the booster dose, he said. Sri Lanka's national players will be given a dose of booster vaccines once they arrive after the World Cup from the UAE, an official said. This was revealed by Professor Arjuna De Silva, the chairman of the medical panel of the Sri Lanka Cricket Board. Speaking exclusively to the Deccan Chronicle over the telephone from Colombo on Sunday morning, he said all our national players already had 2 doses of the Sputnik vaccine, and it would be around 6 months once they return from the World Cup. We will be conducting the antibody tests on their return, and those found low in tests will be given a booster dose of the Pfizer vaccine. After the World Cup, Sri Lanka will play 2 test matches in Galle. That's local news.
Just as love and freedom are important to a child, so too is knowledge. Encouraging their pursuit of knowledge is our most important responsibility as parents.
Sri Lanka Insurance Minimutu education plans ensure a secure future for your child with a higher education fund, comprehensive protection and a range of additional covers. Minimutu education plans for children who dare to dream. Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Tourism Ministry is planning to bring 250,000 tourists to the island every month. The ministry has devised a plan to attract tourists from France, Germany, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, the UK, America, Canada and India. Special travel packages will be introduced to these countries to attract tourists, the ministry added.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight, health authorities have requested the public to follow the health guidelines strictly. The Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, said that it is a high risk for the public to travel when there are restrictions. He requested the public to refrain from travelling between the provinces. He pointed out that 500 to 600 corona patients are still being reported daily from the country. Therefore, he emphasised that the pandemic can spread rapidly again if the public acts irresponsibly. That was Watchlight. In world news headlines, climate change, extreme weather events are the new norm. Tokyo subway knife and fire attack leaves 17 injured. AUKUS French president says Australian Prime Minister lied over submarine deal. Extreme weather events including powerful heat waves and devastating floods are now the new normal, says the World Met Organization. The State of the Climate Report for 2021 highlights a world that is changing before our eyes. The 20-year temperature average from 2002 is on the course to exceed 1 degree Celsius above pre-industrial levels for the first time. Local media, meanwhile, say a knife and arson attack on an underground train line in Tokyo has left 17 injured. The police arrested a 24-year-old man who was wearing a costume similar to the Joker character from the Batman Batman comics. The attack happened as many people headed for Halloween parties. Witnesses say the suspect sprayed a clear liquid around the carriage and set it alight. Video footage showed passengers running through carriages away from flames and clambering out of train windows. French President Emmanuel Macron has said Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison lied to him about a scrapped submarine deal. Mr. Macron was furious after Australia cancelled a $37 billion deal to build 12 submarines and instead negotiated a new defence pact with the US and the UK, the so-called AUKUS. The pair's meeting at the G20 summit was the first since a September row. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. Climate change, extreme weather events are the new norm. Tokyo's subway knife and fire attack leaves 17 injured. AUKUS, French president says Australian Prime Minister lied over submarine deal. That was world news. And now in development news, the government has focused its attention to solve the drinking water problems of the people residing in the Puttalamakkalpitiya Lagoon and suburbs area. A project will be implemented to provide drinking water facilities to the people of Battalagunaduwa, Mukattavarama and Kirimundalama areas. The necessary funds have already been allocated for this purpose. That was development news, and now in sports news and cricket, India's hopes of the men's T20 World Cup are hanging by a thread after New Zealand inflicted a second successive miserable defeat on the pre-tournament favourites. After 10-wicket thrashing against rivals Pakistan in their opening game, Virat Kohli's side were woefully abject again, New Zealand chasing 111 with 33 balls to spare in Dubai. Put into bat, India lacked intent and crawled to 110 for 7, only hitting 8 fours and 2 sixes to all but silence an Indian-dominated crowd. All-rounder Ravindra Jadeja top scored with an unbeaten 26 from 19 balls, while left-armer Trent Boult took 3 for 20 and leg spinner Ish Sodhi 2 for 17 for New Zealand. Jasprit Bumrah removed Martin Guptill for 20, but Daryl Mitchell, who made 49 off 35 balls, shared 72 with Kane Williamson. Williamson finished 33 not out as New Zealand picked up their first win and severely dented the hopes of star-studded India.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U-Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Arunalu Sittam Children's Art Competition 2021, conducted under the banner of Commercial Bank's popular children's savings account Arunalu, will present more than 2 million rupees in 137 cash prizes, in addition to 250 merit certificates, the bank said. The competition is open to any Sri Lankan child, irrespective of whether he or she is an account holder at Commercial Bank, and will be conducted under 5 age groups: preschool category ages 4 to 5, primary category ages 6 to 7, post-primary category ages 8 to 10, junior category ages 11 to 13, and senior category ages 14 to 16. While the younger contestants can choose their own topics and draw on A3 size paper, participants in the junior category should submit drawings that demonstrate the theme of our lifestyle, and senior category participants should submit drawings under the theme of gifts of nature on 14 by 18 inch paper. Participants may choose any medium of their preference to express themselves, but avoid sticky or non-drying types of paint, the bank said.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Lanka Sansta Cement, a 100% local investment and a BOI venture, will commence operations in January 2022 when they open their $80 million factory in Mirijavilla Export Processing Zone in Hambantota. The production capacity of the plant is estimated to be 3 million metric tons per annum, which will help to ease the current shortage.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamu, central and northwestern provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts. Thundershowers may occur at a few places in the Uva province and the Ampara and Batticaloa districts during the afternoon or night. This weather report was issued this morning at 4:30 am. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather will be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature would be around 30 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 27 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in select spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 27 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 19, which shows a fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. Sri Lanka lifts inter-provincial travel restrictions. The final rites of Venerable Valamitiyave Kusala Dhammathera held with full state honours. The daily count of new COVID-19 cases moved to 542 yesterday. 18 coronavirus deaths reported yesterday. Sri Lanka to start administering the COVID-19 booster doses. Sri Lanka players to get booster dose on return from the UAE. In news overseas, in climate change, extreme weather events are the new norm. In sports news, New Zealand beat India by 8 wickets in another T20 World Cup match played yesterday at the Dubai Cricket Grounds. That concludes this news broadcast, and now it's back to your hosts as always on a Monday morning, the two S's on the other side, Sharifa and Sonal, over to you.